In this tutorial, I'm sharing the process for making a basic junk journal using printable journal pages. This journal is perfect if you're a beginner or aren't quite sure how to use printable journal kits. I love to use printable pages and journal kits to make my journals because it's quick and easy, and it's also very creative. I like to use this type of journal as an everyday journal for gathering and collecting the things that I want to remember. This can include photos and other paper memorabilia, and I also like to write down my thoughts or favourite quotations, or things that someone might say to me that I'd like to remember. To get started, you first need to print out the pages. I'm using my own printable journal kit called Wildflower Garden in shades of red. This kit includes printable pages and several pages of pockets, journal cards and tags. There is no cover included with this kit, however you can use any of the pages as cover images. When printing the pages from the PDF document, you want to make sure to set the page scaling to fit to printable area. If you don't have a printer that has a borderless printing option, then your printer is going to print with a white margin around the edges of the paper. If you choose the option None or No Page Scaling, the printer will try to print borderless and cut off the edges. Choosing the Fit to Printable Area option will ensure that the edges of the page won't get cut off and the design will print correctly. You can print the pages onto a good quality copy paper or onto cardstock, which is what I've done for this journal. You can leave the back of the printed pages blank, or stain them with coffee or tea stain, or even spray inks. Or you can print other designs or draw lines on the back to make writing pages. Once all the pages are printed, trim away the white edges and cut out all the elements. To make the journal more interesting, you can also add other types of pages as well, such as lined pages, pages from old books, tea-stained papers, envelopes and note cards, different types of ledger papers, even maps, and pages from scrapbook paper pads. I'm making the cover for this journal using a manila folder, but you could also use cardboard from a cereal box. Cut the cover just slightly larger than the pages by about 1/4 inch on all sides. You could cover the cardboard using any type of paper or fabric, or you could do as I do, which is to glue one of the printable journal pages on the front and back covers, as well as the inside covers. Because the journal pages are slightly smaller than the cover, the edges of the cardboard are going to be visible, so you can leave them as they are, or you could paint them, or even stain them as I've done using some distress ink. You can use any type of craft glue to glue the journal pages onto the cover, however I've used spray glue because it's less messy than using liquid glue. I've also cut the pages down the middle before gluing to make it easier to fold the cover. It doesn't take much to turn a simple journal cover into something more interesting. So because I love the look of stitched paper, I've sewn the pages to the cover on my sewing machine, and I've also sewed some ribbon down the spine on the inside and outside. All that's left now is to stitch the pages into the cover. Sort all your pages into order and attach them at one end with some paper clips or binder clips. Then insert the pages into the cover and reattach the clips to one end of the cover. Using a bookbinding awl or a large embroidery needle, punch 3 holes along the centerfold right through the pages and the cover. Punching the holes first makes it much easier to sew everything together. Punch the first hole in the middle and then 1 hole at the top and 1 hole at the bottom, about 1 inch in from the edge. Cut a piece of bookbinding thread or thick embroidery thread about twice the length of the cover. I like to use wax thread because the wax helps to strengthen the thread and it makes it less prone to getting tangled. You can buy thread that's already waxed. However, I like to wax my own because I like to use different types of embroidery thread to sew my journals together. I'm sewing this journal using a simple 3-hole pamphlet stitch, which is ideal for simple journals like this. Starting on the inside, push the needle through the middle hole to the outside, leaving about a 3 to 4 inch thread tail on the inside. Then back to the inside through the top hole, back to the outside through the middle hole, then back to the inside through the bottom hole. Make sure the thread is taut, then tie it off in a knot. Once the journal is assembled, you can now add some embellishments, such as pockets, tags, and journal cards. If your journal kit has printable pockets and envelopes, first crease along the tabs with a creasing tool, then fold under and press with a bone folder. You can glue the pockets in place using a strong craft glue. However, I like to use score tape. This type of tape is very sticky and will ensure that your embellishments won't fall off or come apart. For a closure, you can tie the journal with some ribbon or even a bit of elastic. I've included an envelope in this journal and I can use it to hold loose papers so they won't fall out. I've also included some lined paper that I can use for journaling or just jotting down notes. The pages in your journal don't have to be all the same size, and I think that using different size pages makes a journal look more interesting. I like to use paper clips with a bit of ribbon tied through the top to hold loose papers and journal cards. I opened the bottom end of the envelope so I can use this end also to hold loose papers. There's lots of pages in this little journal with space where I could add more pockets or even tape some photos or other paper memorabilia. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you've never made a printable junk journal before, I hope you give it a try. These types of journals are fun and very creative to make, and there's no right or wrong way to put them together. If you don't like the way something looks, it's only paper, so take it out and start again.